Today I have the keys to this 2022 Kia EV6 GT line. So this is the rear wheel drive version of the Kia EV6. Now this is Kia's full electric SUV. Two big displays in here for your infotainment system, cool looking steering wheel, plenty of storage, and overall pretty futuristic, especially with these handles that fold in flat with the car when you lock it. Now front end on this car looks absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice looking front end. Back end though, I have some mixed feelings about. Quite chunky, and because of this weird design as well, if I open up the back, it's because of the way this rear end is designed. If you actually have a look at the actual cargo space that you have, because it tapers up here, height wise you're quite limited with what you can actually fit in the back, but you can fold those middle seats down if you did need the extra room. See if this has a frunk. Actually, I haven't checked yet. And it doesn't. Not surprising, same as the Toyota, it's just all electronics in here, which is a little bit disappointing. Now, a cool little party trick that this does have, which I think most electric cars do have, turn on the remote start on the key. Probably can't hear it, but you can hear all the electronics kicking in. If you hold down, say this one here, can actually get the car to move with no one inside. So say you're parked in a tight parking spot, you need to pull the car forward, you can do that. Same thing going back. So on the key, hold it down, and the car will reverse back. Pretty cool little party trick. I don't know how often people would use this, but still a cool feature to have. If we jump to the inside, there's one thing they've done really well is they've made the interior feel very... How are we gonna make this stop beeping? They've made the interior feel very futuristic. Like the finishes aren't the best, especially considering this starts at $72,000 before on-road costs. So it's definitely not a cheap car. So I've got bang on 50%, and it's saying my estimated range is about 214 Ks. If you put it in sports mode, it drops down a little more as well. This display in the center here, really responsive. Software's really nice. You've got your built-in maps. You can adjust the different sounds that the car can make. So if you go vehicle, active sound design, I've got it off at the moment, but as you start driving around, you can change the sort of noise that it's making, which we'll play around with when we take it for a drive. I found it quite annoying, so I turned it off, but you could see how it could appeal to some people. Heads up display as well, so I've got that turned off at the moment as well, but that's another thing that you can turn on if you wanted to. So plenty to play around with here. So software wise, it's great. Apple CarPlay is going to be wired. So you've got your little plug down here, you plug your phone in and it'll come up onto the screen. Don't really know why it's not wireless, especially on a car in this price point, but at least it has Apple CarPlay. Your little shift dial down here. So similar to the Toyota BZ4X, you just switch this around for your different drive modes. This also has your 360 camera, which is really clear, pretty high resolution as well. Nice thing with this as well is to adjust your regen, you've got little paddles on the side. So this will decrease, this will increase. So as you can see here, as you start driving, it says level 3 here, you can drop it down to 0, or you can drop it down to level 4, which is the highest, which is pretty much your one pedal drive. Wireless phone charger here. Little storage cubby in here. You do have a little power socket in the back as well, so if you want to just plug your laptop, things like that in. You've also got a little USB-C port here, which you also have on the driver's seat as well. So pretty well equipped. Now you do also get your heated and ventilated passenger and driver's seat, as well as heated steering wheel, which is also a pretty nice addition. Another cool thing here is your climate control. So this here is a screen with some physical dials. If you push this here, you can actually change it to navigate this screen up here. So pretty cool. At first when I hopped in this car, I was like, where's the volume knob? But it's over here. You just have to click this to switch it over. Makes use of the space that they've got here. All right, let's go. So we'll put it in the drive. At the moment, engine sound is turned down as much as possible. So there's still a little bit that you can hear. But compared to some of the other settings, it's pretty quiet. More engine sound now, more fake engine sound. And let's just wait for this to clear. So at the moment I've got it in sports mode, so pretty much just makes it a bit more responsive than it normally would be. Timing, something's going on here. We'll switch this back to normal. You can jump in here, you can go into an advanced setting so you can play around with the actual sound, so have it make different noises. But I don't know, you don't buy an electric car for the noise. In terms of cabin quality, it's actually pretty quiet in here. You don't really hear many squeaks and rattles, which is important in a full electric car, because obviously it's pretty quiet, so all you're hearing is tire noise and cabin noise, but really no complaints so far. Maybe the finishes are a little bit scratchy. You can see this one's got 28,000 Ks, so I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is all pretty scratched up. It's that piano black that a lot of cars are using now. Scratches so easy. It also reflects the sun, so on sunny days it's right in your face. And you also have your usual self-centering, like steering assist. So I threw a bit of a tantrum there just because the road's not very good. Not too sure what's going on here. Do a quick acceleration test up to 80. So this is going to be pedal to the metal. So it goes It's not going to blow you away, but it's what you'd expect from, well, this is a single motor. So if you go the all-wheel drive, you get quite a bit of a power increase. And you can feel there is power being cut. Like even just then it did slip a little bit. It doesn't help that the road's wet, obviously, but only being rear-wheel drive as well. Did take me a little bit getting used to, but this regen is actually really nice to use. You can kind of gauge your speed a bit easier without having to move your foot from the accelerator. I do quite like the steering wheel design as well. It's very small, but it's comfortable in your hands. And all this here as well is all ambient lighting. So at night, this is all lit up. Your little cubbies in here light up, the footwell lights up. So it's a pretty nice place to be at night. I will say this lane keep thing is really frustrating me. I'm in the middle of my lane, it keeps trying to throw me out. Not sure what it's picking up. Still haven't touched the brake. So now I just switched it over to pretty much one pedal drive, so to bring the car to a complete stop without touching the brake. Well, unfortunately this whole video is going to have sirens. There's a pothole and a half, Jesus. In terms of ride, it's pretty comfortable. Probably rides a little bit on the stiffer side. Like, you definitely feel all the bumps in the road, but it also doesn't help that these roads are filled with potholes. But as a daily driver, it'd be comfortable enough. Play around with a few of the other sounds as well. If we go back, change this to enhance so it'll be louder. It's dynamic. It sounds like Iron Man's repulsors. Cyber. Yeah, interesting sounds. I think just the basic one is the least annoying.